That's weird. Oh, let me go here. All right, I want to just do a couple of these using the tool in Desmos to show you how to line these up in order very easily. So I'm going to do this one right here. I signed these for homework for a couple of classes. So I'm going to do this one right here since it wasn't homework. I'm going to use my Desmos and I'm going to click inside the box. And if I put x equals and then 35 divided by 2, what you'll notice is, let me maximize this real quick. What you'll notice is if I scroll way over here, there's a line right there, 17.5. And if I click that line, notice that the box over here is highlighted. So it's telling me that 17.5 goes through the x-axis right here at 17.5. So then I'm going to go to my next number, which is 8 to the third power. So I'm going to click inside here and I'm going to say x equals 8, and then I'm going to use this keyboard here. There's my exponent button to the third power, 512. Now that's a big number. So if I want to see the line, I'm going to scroll way out. And there's the line. And notice that it's blue. If I click it, this box highlights and it's color coded. So now I can easily see that 35 over 2 is less than 8 to the third. It lines them up for you. You don't have to do any kind of decimal conversion. It just lines them up for you. Now I'm going to put the third number in, which is 4.8 times 10 squared. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to do 4.8 times 10 squared, 480. Oh, I didn't put x equals. I do that all the time. If you don't ever see a line pop up, it's because you didn't do x equals. So now you can see the green line popped up right here. If I click it, that box lights up. If I click the red, this box lines up. I click the blue and green, but they're in order. The red numbers first, then the green, then the blue. All right, let's go back and see what our next number is. It is 3 to the 6th power. So you have to put x equals, don't forget x equals 3 to the 6th power, 729. It's way over here, this purple line right there. All right, I'm going to go and I'm going to put in 1.7 times 10 to the third. So 1.7 times 10 to the third power, and I forgot again, I didn't do x equals, so no line popped up. X equals 1.7 times 10 to the third, 1700. I have to scroll way out to see that line. There it is right there. All right, and then I'm going to put in my last number. So it's one number per box. My last number is 51.2%. So x equals 51.2. Now to do percents, you have to remember that percent means out of 100. So you're going to divide that by 100, and there is my red line. Now, I've scrolled way out so that I can see everything. But some of these lines, and if I scroll very far out, they look close together. So when that happens, you got to scroll back in so that you can see these numbers in order. So it looks to me like this right here is my smallest number, 51.2%. See, if I click the line, do you see how this box is bolded? So that's my smallest number. So I'm going to go back to my page and I'm going to say 51.2% is my smallest number. Okay, then I'm going to go back to my screen and I'm going to click the next one. Let me make sure there's nothing on top. I'm going to click the next line, and this one is bolded. the 35 over 2. So I'm going to go back to my paper, and I'm going to list 35 over 2 is my next one in order. And I'm going to go back here. Let me scroll back in so I can see the next line. The next line looks like it's right here. The green one, 4.8 times 10 to the second power. So I'm going to do 4.8 times 10 to the second power. Then I'm going to make sure there's not anything on top of each other. The next one is this blue line. If I click it, this box is highlighted. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to say 8 to the third power is next. And let's see, this purple one is next. 3 to the sixth power. So I put that on my paper right here. And then let's see, I've used this one, and this one, and this one, and this one, and this one. So this one has to be the biggest one. I'm going to go ahead and write it, but we're going to go back to our Desmos and just check and make sure. There we go. And if I click this one, if I go all the way, you can actually kind of scroll in and there it is right there, this black line right there, all the way over here. 1.7 times 10 to the third. Now I have ordered these in order. I didn't have to do any decimal conversions. I just put them in order. Let's do one more, except this time it's from greatest to least. So I'm going to go back to my Desmos. You have to clear out all of the lines that are already on there. So we're starting with a clean page. And if I'm doing number 29, what you'll notice is my first number is 3%. So I'm going to go back into the Desmos. X equals 3% means divided by 100. And let me scroll out. There's the line. If you ever get lost, like you've scrolled out and in so much you can't find anything, you can go back to home and it kind of centers it for you. All right. My next number in the list is 3 to the negative 2 power. So I'm going to say x equals 3, and I'm going to use my square root, my exponent key, and negative 2. And you can see the green pop up. They're kind of right on top of each other because they're really close. You can scroll out and you can see the definition between the two. All right, in my third box, I am going to type 0.3. So I'm going to say x equals 0.3. And there, the purple line popped up right here. All right, my fourth number, I'm going to type in the square root of 1 over 9. So I'm going to say x equals, and I'm going to use my square root, and then I'm going to do 1 divided by 9. 0.333. And there's the black. It looks like it's really close to the purple. So if I scroll out, it gives me some definition between them. All right, the next one I'm going to type in is 2/5. So I'm going to do x equals 2/5. Oops, I did minus, not equals. X equals 2/5. And this red line pops up right here. Okay, I'm going to keep going. I think there's at least one more number. 3.4 times 10 to the negative 2. So I'm going to do 3.4 times 10 to the negative 2. And I forgot to put x equals. So no line's going to pop up if you don't put that x equals. So there, that popped up right there. I'm just going to kind of spread these out so I can see. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many numbers did we have? We had 6. See, if you got to keep scrolling out until you see definition. So if you see a line that looks a little thicker than the others, it's probably lines that are kind of almost laying on top of each other. So you have to scroll out to see it. So when I do this, then I'm going to click on, now this time we're going greatest to least. Notice on the worksheet it says greatest to least. So this time, instead of starting the furthest to the left, I'm going to start the furthest to the right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 would be this red one right here. I click it and it's highlighted over here. So then I'm going to go back to my paper and I'm going to say 2/5 is the biggest. All right. The next one would be this black line right here. And that is the square root of 1/9. Let me show you what I've written so far. 2/5, then 1/9, square root. Okay, moving to the left because we're going greatest to least. The next one would be this purple one, which is 0.3. So I'm going to write that. Okay. Next would be, there's the bell, this green line, which is 3 to the -2. So I'm going to go back to this, and I'm going to write 3 to the -2. And I'm going to go back. The next one would be this first blue one, which is right here, 3.4 times 10 to the -2. So I'm going to write that. 3.4 times 10 to the -2. And the least one, the smallest one, is the one furthest to the left. It would be this one, right? Sometimes if you don't have enough space between, 3/100. So I'm going to go back to my paper, and I'm going to put 3%, because that originally was 3%. So just make sure I've used this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. There we go. So they are listed from greatest to least, and up here we did least to greatest. And that's how you use Desmos to order these numbers. All right.